Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. I want to thank every single one of you for your prayers for myself. I have been sick for over a month now. Thank God I'm just getting over it, and God is good. So we're getting all healed up, giving more energy to create these beautiful pieces for you guys. Thank you so much. I want to mention, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel to grow and keeps us going to create these pieces. Also, when you watch the video, please give a thumbs up. Of course, if you enjoy it, it does help the video quite a bit for YouTube to circulate it. That's the only way we can survive. I also want to mention I do have a private crochet group. You're more than welcome to join as long as you have a profile pic, obviously. I also have Instagram and TikTok. All of these links will be, and a Facebook page. You can follow me. All of the links will be below in the description box. Right below the video is a little arrow. You click on there and all the information is on there. And I want to mention that I use 100% cotton thread. These are 4-ply, similar to Aunt Lydia number 3. My thread is a little bit thinner, so Aunt Lydia number 3 becomes thicker. 2.75 hook for the most part, or most of the time. Let me just fix my camera here a bit. I think that's better. And they go by numbers. So this gray is number 12, and this orange yellow is number 17. So for the most part, I use 2.75 hooks, sometimes 3.5, depending on the project that I'm using. Small hook to tuck in loose ends, and a pair of scissors. And always at the end of my creations, I do have a little video at the end. You can see it displayed on my table. And thank you so much again. So we're going to get started. Okay, everyone. So on my last video, you guys saw that I created this gorgeous doily, which I mentioned you could turn it into a table runner. By increasing, you can make a rug out of it. I mean, the list goes on. So it was so recognizable in so many crochet groups that I had a lot of requests if I can create the runner bigger, how to increase more rows and get this to be way bigger for a table, or obviously you can use it in a counter too, depending up on the size of the counter you have. So that's what we're going to do. I'm probably going to use, once I am done with the runner, I'm probably going to add some flowers in. So there's a flower I created with some little leaves here, which I don't have the tutorial for it yet. I didn't do the tutorial, but this is pretty much what it's probably going to look like. This will be glued in with hot gun glue, transparent glue. I also created these little leaves, which I find them to be so cute. And I don't believe I have the tutorial for them either. But anyway, I will create a tutorial for it in case you want to use this specific leaf. If not, I do have on my playlist, if you go into my channel where it says playlist, I don't know why I'm doing that. It's going to be over anyway. I'm going to be cutting that thread or gluing it in. And I do have so many leaves on there, different shapes and forms and whatever, whatnot of leaves. So you can use it from there or anything else that you are already familiar with, which is fine. I think this looks super, super beautiful. So most definitely, I think I'll be gluing these onto my patterns once I am done with the runner. Now this one will probably only take one. I'll probably create something smaller. And with the runner, I'll probably do it on both sides of the runner, on each different angle of it. I think it's going to look pretty good. We'll see. That's the thought. I usually change ideas quite a bit. Okay, so we're going to get started. As you know, these are 4-ply 100% cotton thread. I'll be using 2.75 hook. Turn your closed caption on. There's the CC. It's much faster and easier for you guys to understand me by reading the stitch that I'm calling out. And you could always slow down the video. There's a link in the description box how to slow down the video and even to zoom in the stitch, the creation, what I'm doing. As I'm creating, you can zoom in your camera or your tablet. I show you how to do that. A lot of you still don't know how to do that, okay? So let's get started, everyone. Thank you. I'll also leave the link to this doily below in the description box once I am done with the video, in case you want to create the set, okay? Okay, everybody. So we're going to start by chain stitch, which the slip stitch knot never counts for anything. Now, I don't know yet how many chain stitch I'm going to do, but you could always fast forward to see how many I'm going to do. I'm going to do a nice long one, so I'm not sure yet how many I'm going to create. Okay, everyone. So I've done 142 chain stitch. It's going to be a big one. So I'm going to count back 1, 2, 3 on my 4th. I'm going to come in with double crochet. Now I'm going to do 1 per stitch all the way to the end. Make sure that you always look ahead of the video. Sometimes mistakes can be done. We are far away from being perfect and probably never will be. So we can correct the mistakes on the spot without taking it down. Don't mind me if I have to sometimes stop talking and catch my breath. I'm still having a bit, not much, but a bit difficulty on breathing still and taking antibiotics for that cold flu that I had gotten. It's been over a month and it was pretty serious and pretty bad. But thank God everything's coming back to normal again. Thank you for your prayers. Okay, so double crochet on each. Make sure that you grab the middle of the stitch and not this top loop, or your pattern will curve like a U shape. Okay, so when you grab here, basically the bottom one, and then you have those 2 here up top. Okay, and that's gonna give you a nice straight flat pattern. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I have 139 chain stitch, double crochet, sorry. I'm gonna put the hook on the last one just for you guys not to be lost anywhere. Okay, so on my last double crochet I put the hook in inside of the same stitch, this last stitch we just did. Good heavens. I'm going to do 6 more double crochets, all in the same stitch. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that gives me a total of 7 double crochets on this last in this last one that we did, that I put the hook. Now I'm going to come in. I'm going to use my thinner hook because the stitch is so tight now from that chain. And I'm going to stretch my thread because I don't want it to. So, okay, so we have the 7. I'm going to come into the next double crochet and do a double crochet. Now you can grab your hook just so you don't get confused. The 6th one we did, you can put your hook in, not your hook, your marker, okay? Just so you know, we have those 7 in there, okay? And then 1 per stitch again. I'm grabbing that loop from the chain, but I'm giving it a stretch because this hook is thinner. So I don't want my double crochets to be smaller, right? But if you have a loose stitch, you're good to go with the same size of hook that you have. I have a tight stitch, so for that reason I like to use the thinner one. Okay, and we're going to do one per stitch all the way to the end. Make sure you don't miss any. We'll run into a little bit of a trouble at the end when we go into the next row. So I want to make sure that I grab it properly here. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I've done all of my double crochets. I'm going to hook the last one I just done. Okay, and I'm also going to hook the very first one I did. Okay, so basically we're going to do 5 double crochets only, because this one and this one's already counted in as the 7. Okay, so coming in the same stitch, the last one we did, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm going to just take off this hook to hook it. So we have 7 altogether. This is where we hooked the last one. Now, I'm going to hook it on the one right after, okay? Not the very last one we connected together, the one right after. So I'm just going to stretch this here. So that's the 3 chain we did. We're going to hook right after it. Right after. Okay, and also we're going to do to all 4 corners. So now we're going to take this up. We're going to go back 1 double crochet. And also on this side, we're going to go back, not back, this one here, we're going to go forward 1, and this one back 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the edge. We went back 1, okay, and this one too, the same thing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so just gonna remove this so I can just do my stitch and go in there. Makes it easier for me. So now I'm going to, let me just recount this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Coming into the next one here. And I'm going to do a single, and I'm stretching my thread in 1 chain into the next one. I'm going to put, well, I really don't need to put the hook on there, but I'm going to, just so you don't get confused, okay? So basically this is the very first one after the 7. So now we're doing 1 per stitch all the way to the end until we get to that round curve again. So I'll meet you at the end. So we have 7 here and 7 inside of the oval. Okay, so this would be row 2. This is row 1, obviously, because it's only one on one side, one on the other. Row 2. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much did all my double crochets until the marker. Just going to pass it up. Now we have those 7 double crochets in there. So into the next one starts my first of the 7. I'm going to do 2 double crochets on the same stitch. Okay, so that's the increase. So we started with the 7 at the edge of the oval. Now we'll have 14 double crochets here on the oval. 2 per stitch. 1 and 2. So that's our increase 7 times again. So we have our first increase right after the marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the last one, 7. Okay, and then 1 per stitch as we've been doing. You put your marker up on the last one we just did. And then continue again, 1 per stitch. Now remembering what you do on this side, you'll have to do at the other end on the oval, so you'll have that increase of the 2 double crochets on this one here. Okay, so you'll have 14 double crochets at the edge, exactly how we did this one here. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much give myself a head start because it's just double crochet over double crochet all the way to the marker, which I put the marker up. Now this one here, let me see how I started off on this one here. Okay, so on the first double crochet, we're going to do 1 double crochet. On the second, we're going to do an increase of 2 together. So basically this row will have 1 double crochet, 2 together, 1 double crochet, 2 together, 1 double crochet, 2 together on the same stitch, okay? And the next few rows will be exactly the same thing. That means this is row 3, so row 4 will have 2, always on the first one, of course, we're going to do double crochet. Okay, so we'll have double crochet, double crochet. On the second from the increase, we'll have 2 together. And all the time that we have the increase on the second one, we'll do the increase, okay? So that means this one we have 1 alone. The next row will have 2 alone, 2 together. Next row, 3 alone, 2 together. And this is how it's going to go. Now, on my small doily, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 rows. I'm going to see how it looks with 7 rows, or I might go to 9 rows. Okay, so there's no point of keep recording the same thing over and over. So you know, as you can see, this is row 1, row 2, row 3. So row 3, we have 1 alone, 2 together, right after the marker. That's why I told you to put the marker so you don't get confused. Next row, we'll have 2 alone. And on the second double crochet, we'll increase 2 together. So always on the increases on the second double crochet from the increase, we'll add the 2 together. So that means row 4 we'll have 2 alone, 2 together. Row 5, 3 alone, 2 together. Row 6, 4 alone, 2 together. And that's how it's going to go. You could always advance the video and see how many rows I've created, and we can take it from there. Okay, so very simple. Same thing as I have done on this one here, just to show you guys. So we are in row 3, 1, 2, 3. So row 3, this is where I have the marker on this one here. So we have 1 alone, 2 together. Okay, and then row 4, I have 2 alone, 2 together. Row 5, I have 1, 2, 3 alone, 2 together. Row 6, just want to keep track of my, so row 6, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 alone, 2 together, and then row 7, I have 5 alone and 2 together. Okay, and that's how it's going to go. So I'll meet you at the end of my rows. Like I said, I don't know how many rows I'll be doing, but you can always advance the video and find out. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I have my 7 rows done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and here we have 2 together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alone. 2 together, 5 alone. And of course I have my markers on. Now this row here, we're going to do singles all the way around. There's no increase on row 8. Okay, so just singles, 1 per stitch all the way around. And then I'm cutting my thread and I'm going to come in with that yellow orange. Okay, so very simple. Even at the edge, just 1 single per stitch, no increase. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished row 8. I'm going to roll this 4 times and I'm going to hold it with my fingers. I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to come directly in where I have that marker and I'm going to take out 2. I'm going to sorry. So I've done half double crochet. So I need those 3 on there. Coming into the next single. And I'm going to take out half again. I know the first one's always hard to do. If you want to do your regular 1 chain, go ahead into the next single. And take out 2. So I have 3 half double crochets. Now I'm going to take out 4 loops, my 3 from those halves and 1 more. Okay, so I have 3 on my hook. I'm going to take out 2 and the last 2. I'm not going to worry about the string because then I'll come back to it again. So my first 2 loops I have here, well, not the first, the 2 second loops from the first and the second double crochet or half that we did, I'm going to do a double crochet. I'm going to come into the last loop here and do a double crochet. I'm going to roll twice on my hook, coming into the next one, half. So I have 3 on the hook. It's always harder is the first one. Half and half. I'm going to take out 3 only now. 3, take out 2, and take out the last 2. Coming in that first and second one, loops, and I'm going to take out my second double crochet. From that second half and the last, I'm going to take out again. There is no chain space. Again, half, half, and half. Take out 3, take out 2, and take out the last 2. Coming in that first loop and the second, and take out 2, and the last 2. Coming in this second and the last one, take out 2, and take out 2. And again, 2 loops turned on your hook, so you have 3. Take out half, take out half, and take out half. Take out the 3, 2, and the last one. In the first and second, we have those loops there, and do your double crochet. On the second and on the last, again the double crochet. So we're going to do this until we meet the other marker on the other side. Okay, one more time, row twice, so you have 3 on your hook, into the next half, next half, next half. We're going to take out 3 loops, take out 2, and the last 2. We have these 2 loops here from the first and the second double crochet. Take out 2, take out 2. We still have that same loop from the second double crochet, and we're going to go into the last loop here of the last double crochet. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I have 45 of the X's, and that leaves me 2 singles left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to still use the next one of right after the marker, and continue from here. Now the round, the oval part, we're going to do 1 chain space from here on. Okay, so with this one is 46, 1 chain, and continue to do the same thing until the other marker on this side. Okay, so again, repeating the same exact thing. Take out the 3, take out 2, and take out the last 2. Come on that first and second loop of the halves and do your double crochet. The second and the last loop and your double crochet, 1 chain space. Okay, so we're going to do that until the marker, and I'll meet you at the marker and see if we need to make an adjustment there also. Okay, so I'm basically at the marker. I'm going to do 1 chain and complete this X motif, and from here on I'm not doing no more 1 chain space. Okay, whoops. Okay, so that, oh, and I made a mistake here. Good God. Thank God I looked on time. It happens, people. We're not perfect. We're far from being perfect. We'll never be perfect. We can try. So one chain space and then just continue. The other ones we won't do a chain space. And then just go direct. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that we did one chain space. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. You have to do the same thing on the other side. If you need to make an adjustment, just do it exactly how we did. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end, and at the end, I didn't need to make any adjustment. So I've closed in with slip stitch. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to do a single. Now that thread that I had from the beginning when I started, I'm just going to tuck it in, hide it as I go now. Single per stitch inside of that one chain. We're going to do a stitch also. I don't think I have one here, do I? Oh my goodness, sometimes, you know, the brain. So where we have that one chain space, we're going to do one single in there. Where we don't have it, obviously, you don't have to do the one chain. There's no space for it, right? So one per stitch all the way around the same way. And when you get to the oval, we're going to do one chain, one single inside the one chain space. There is no increase, so I'll meet you at the end. That's already the increase is inside of the chain space. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished doing my row, and so this is the single one we did here. The last one is number 8. This would be number 9, the motifs. Number 10, the singles. Okay, I'm coming back in with the gray. And I'm going to start on the one right after my markers here. So I'm going to come in on this first single here. I'm going to do a single and 2 chain for double crochet. Next stitch, double crochet. So we're going to create double crochets. Fireworks are going on, people. It's like everybody having a party somewhere, and you can hear everything around. So I'm sorry for the firework noise. So double crochet all the way until we get to our next marker, which is right here. Okay, so as soon as we get to this marker here, maybe it's best I bring it up. So I'm just going to put it anywhere here. I'm going to motive right up, so it's right underneath. I brought it up. So we're going to do double crochet all the way until this last motive here. So I'm just going to push it over. Okay, so 1 per stitch, and then I'll be back with on it. Every weekend there's a feast going on the villages, so you can hear the fireworks pretty much everywhere. Okay, so double crochet 1 per stitch. Okay, everyone, so I've reached where I have the marker. Now, just going to remove the marker so it doesn't get too complicated. Where we have this first single, I'm going to do 2 double crochet. I'm going to put my marker on the first double crochet. Okay, so that's my increase. On the next one, we don't do increase. So continue 1 double crochet per stitch. So we're not doing an increase on the next one. We did on the first where we have the single, no increase. On the next one, we're doing an increase. So it's 1 increase, no increase, 1 increase, no increase. Okay, so we are on the second single on the center here, and I'm going to do an increase. So the first one, increase, no increase, increase. Next one, no increase. And then the one after that, increase. Okay, I'll let you know once I'm done how many increases we've done. So we have the previous one, increase, no increase. The next one, we're doing increase, which is this one here, 2 on the same stitch. Okay, next one, no increase. Next one, increase. I'm going to continue my oval. Okay, we're on the oval part, and then I'll let you know how many increases I have. Another way to keep track is, so we did an increase, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 alone, 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 alone, 7 double crochets alone, 2 together. You can keep counting this way if you don't want to make a mistake or you're not sure. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 alone, and on my 8, which is the single, two together. And then you can count 7 alone again. On your 8, 2 together. I think it's a good way to make sure that we're not lost anywhere. Okay? Okay, everyone. So I passed also my marker to the last single, right after the last single. So we have the 2 together on the last single, and I've put my marker right next to it. So I have 9 increases altogether, starting from the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the last one, 9. And we're going to do the same thing to the other edge. Okay, exactly what we just done, and then 1 per stitch. So very simple. So I'll meet you at the end. If there's anything, any changes, any can't think of the word. My brain just froze. I can't think of the word. If we need to adjust anything, I'll come back to you. Okay, everyone. So I'm at the end. And coming to the end, I've counted how many increases, and I have 8. So I need to make an adapt. Right after my 8th one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come in where I did that first double crochet and I'm going to do another double crochet there. So that's my 9th increase. We have to make that adjustment to make sure that we do get those 9 increases in. Okay, so basically it stays 2 together on that one. And I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to bring it up on my 2nd, which is the first one we did, the first double crochet we did. Okay, now this row again will be singles. So I'm coming into the next one, single, next single, single, and single. So singles all the way. We're not doing any increase because we already have those 2 together, so we don't need to do increases. So it's 1 per stitch all the way around. And I'll meet you at the end of my row. I'm cutting my thread and I'm coming back in with this yellow orange. We're going to repeat exactly what we've done here. Okay? Okay, everyone. So basically on the other side, we have 24 of these X's. On this side here, I would have 23 only. So what I've done is I've taken out the last one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No, 4. Sorry, I took out 4. The last we created 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I did was on the 4th one here, which becomes the first of the 4, I added 2 together, and on the next space 1 chain, next one 2 together, and the next space 1 chain, and then just a normal. So it's not so obvious. And of course 1 chain to the last one. So now I have my 24 X's on here to have the same amount and the same oval shape as the other side. Okay, so now we're just going to continue to do the singles. And we have that leftover thread from the beginning, so I'm just going to tuck it in between all of them. I'm coming into the next space and doing my single, single, so 1 per stitch. And then when we come to that 1 chain on the oval, we're going to do 1 inside of the 1 chain, as we did before on the bottom one. So just keep going all the way around, singles, and then I'm cutting my thread and I'm coming back in with the gray, doing the double crochets, and of course the increase where we have the single. But remember, like we did in the bottom, we do an increase, the next one we don't. We do an increase, the next one we don't. So basically we had 7 alone, 2 together, and that starts from the marker until the end of the marker. Now you don't have to do 3 rows of these X's if you want to keep it this size, but it's a way of increasing if you want it wider, bigger, is by adding these rows in, right? Not just on here, but even with the gray, you can add 2 rows instead of 1. It's a way to go bigger on it. And of course, from the beginning, the chain stitch, when we first started, we did 150 or 42, I think. Yeah, 142. You can go 52, 62. It's up to you how big you want to go. Okay, so you know when you're going to come to that 1 chain space starts here. So we're going to do 2 together, and then you're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on your 8, 2 together again. So 7 alone, 2 together. Exactly how we did down here. Okay, so I'm going to continue, and then I'm going to do of course my gray, my singles, and then of course my X's again. Just make sure that you line up with your marker and do the adjustment if you need to for the, like we did back here with 2 in the same stitch. Okay, so we can have the right amount on both sides. I'll meet you at the end of mine. Okay, everyone, I just wanted to come back and show you. So I've started the gray, and of course on my first single I've added already my increase, the 2 together, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 alone, 2 together, 7 alone, 2 together. Okay, all the way to the very last one that we have the increase, okay, on the single. So the very last single, I have 2 together on there. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 increases. So you must have 13 on the other side of the oval to make sure that you have all the same size as we have on here. Okay, so now all of the other ones is 1 per stitch as normal. So I'll come back to you again either at the end, or if I see that we need to make an adjustment so you don't get confused, then we'll do that. I'll come back to you at the oval part for the adjustment if we need to create one. So I just want to make sure that you understood, you don't get confused, you don't panic if you don't have enough. We could always add some in or take some down and have the same amount. Okay? Okay, everyone. So pretty much finished my double crochets. We're going to do the singles now. Another thing is I wanted to have 2 sets, or 2 rows I should say, of the shells here. So what I'm going to do, instead of doing the X's, another row of X's, I'm going to add 2 rows of the shell. I think it's going to look pretty, it's going to look different, and it still matches the set. So that's why it's always important to look ahead of the video, because I change ideas quite fast. Okay, so we're going to do singles all the way around. There is no increase because we already have it where we did the 2 together, so we're okay. If we need to make an adjustment on the next row, we will. Don't forget, I do this as I go. I don't plan it out. I don't draw it down. It just comes to my head, and as I'm working, I get the ideas and go with the flow. So, and normally when I have a vision of something, I mention this quite often on my videos, I have a vision of something, it never ends up to be what I visioned. It becomes similar, but I've always changed plans as I go. Okay, so 1 single per stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end, and of course coming to the end I only have 1 2 3 4 and 5 space. So if I was to skip 3 and go into the 4th, I would have been too close. So I'm going to skip 1 2, and I'm going to come on this 3rd one here and do my V, which doesn't change anything on the pattern at all. Then close it. Okay, and if you find that it's, because some people have their stitches extremely tight, then you can just come back here and skip again 1 2 and go into the 3rd, but that would basically be the same thing. Okay, so now I'm going to come in the middle of this 2 double crochet with a single, I'm going to come inside of the V and do 9 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Going to come directly in the middle of the other 2 double crochet. So if you find that it's pulling too much, because people have different stitch, I did 9, but you can do 10. And if I feel that I need to do 10 instead of 9, then I will. So single in the center directly into the next one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Again, into the middle here with a single. So I think mine looks okay. If I thought it's pulling too much, I would have done 10 double crochet. But if you need to, you can go ahead and do it. It's not going to change anything on the pattern. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. That's all we have to do. Now, remembering, because we're doing this, it might pull a bit, but as we go on the next rows, everything comes together. So don't stress about it, okay? Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished all of my shells all the way around. And I'm going to come in now with my yellow, orange, and I'm just going to repeat what we did here. It's just that I'm going to change a bit of the single. So where we did the single, in between, I'm going to do a single, and 2 chains. So that's my double crochet. We're going to create the V's, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back into the same one, creating the V here. Just need to fix this camera just a bit. Okay, so we've done the first V. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 chain. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 on my 5th. Got to see if this works out, so just bear with me, people. So I don't think I'm going to grab it on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain. Let's try this way and see what happens here. So 8 chain, double crochet on that, single, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain again, creating that V. I create this as I go, so bear with me. Whatever I think looks best, that's what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain, coming in that single, creating double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 chain, coming back in, creating that V. So we're going to do this all the way around the same way. Now, if you find that it's too loose for you, then you can do a 7 chain. If you find that it's too tight, you can do an extra chain. I think I'm okay with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I find it's getting too loose, then I'll do 7 only. So you have to go with the tension of your stitch, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and create the V again. We're going to repeat this all the way around the same way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me try 7, see how this works. So I'm going to leave it at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that will be hidden afterwards, that chain that we're just doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do your V, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back in. Okay, so I'll leave it at 7 instead of 8. It's okay that I have it down here. It's not going to change anything, so I don't need to take it down. And I'll meet you at the end of my row. Okay, everyone, so we pretty much finished all the V's. Close in with slip stitch. I'm going to come in single 2 chains. So that's my first double crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See if 10 is enough for me. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4. On my 5th one, I'm going to close it in with single. Coming back in again and doing 10 double crochets. 3, 4. Now, if you find that it's still too tight for you, you can do 11, 12. It's up to you, depending upon your tension. It's not going to change anything on the pattern. We have one more row left, pretty much. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4 on my 5th. Single. Come back again and into the next shell and create your 10 double crochets. So very simple. I think it will look very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 on my 5th single. Okay, so this is pretty much what it looks like. We're going to do this all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, I pretty much finished doing all of my round. I'm coming in with the last row, which is just singles all the way around. The only difference is we are using the back loop only, so you can start pretty much anywhere. So I'm going to do singles using back loops. Try to hide this little thread as I go, grabbing that back loop and single, back loop, single. If you want to grab both loops and just go right through it, by all means, you can do it. Create your own thing. I think this gives it a nice effect to the shell. I'm going to come directly in the middle here where we have the single with a single, like that, and then continue on using those back loops and doing single. this is about it. Another thing I wanted to bring up is, give me a second here. Of course, I'll have the measurements inside of the description box below and how much thread I've used. Don't forget, these threads are Portugal threads. Everybody has different brands and different whatever, right? Countries are different, threads are different, the make is different. So everything has an impact on the size of your pattern. Not necessarily my 4-ply is the same size as yours, accordingly to the thickness of the thread, right? Okay, so back loops, and then where we had done that single with the yellow, coming in and doing single. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Another thing I want to mention to you is if you wanted to and give it some decoration, extra decoration to the pattern, you can always come in, and where you have the gray, you can pull your thread from the back. Just slip stitch through. This is a thinner hook, so sometimes it's not the best idea, but anyway, it's just to give you a sample so you can slip stitch your way through it. We don't want it too tight and we don't want it too loose, and that will give you a nice little effect here. Also, it's optional if you want to do that. So I'm just showing you, giving you the sample. See if I can. I didn't want to put big holes through it because I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it, but I don't want to be pulling on any of my threads either. So basically you would just come through it this way, and it's probably best that you do the yellow orange here before you do the last row of here, because then we need to hook up those singles, and this, well, not necessarily, I guess. This is just going right through it. Never mind what I just said. Sometimes I don't think of what I say. So one per space, just slip stitch. Okay, and you could have like sort of this effect on it if you want it. I'm not going to. I think it looks gorgeous as it is. So, but just ideas for you. Okay, my dear friends, so this does it for this tutorial. This is pretty much it. I'm just going to do one more here for you, just so you can see the effect of it, how pretty it looks. I'm pretty happy with the design. I think I did pretty well, considering that I'm just creating as I go. So it worked out perfectly. Not all the time it works out perfectly, but this pattern for some reason worked out just beautifully, and I'm happy with it. Okay, so once you do your very last one, then you'd come in where the gray is and just single, and you're good to go. Okay, so until next time, everyone, thank you so much. Not sure if I'm going to add the flowers on it, but if I do, here's an idea for you. You can add different. So I did not do the tutorial on this, so eventually I will. But you can add the flowers. You can go into my playlist. There's so many flowers there too. You can add like 2 leaves up top. Just giving you idea if I was to do it. Anyway, I'm not sure if I am, but I think this will look quite lovely too. And you could always do 2 of the green ones here also. Another one. I don't have enough here, but I think you get the idea what I am saying. So 2 there, and then 2 here, and then the last 2 on the very small one. Okay, we'll see once I am done how I feel about it, and so we'll take it from there. Okay, thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, God bless you. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Bye-bye.